It's the only time I get to talk. Welcome.
God damn it, Steve.
Fucked it up.
Welcome everyone to the 3-episode podcast. Tonight we're continuing our apocalypse trio. We're talking about the end of the world, which is a wonderful sentiment to be talking about at the end of 2020 into 2021. Because, to be honest, I thought the world was ending at least 3 times this year. So that's a low estimate. So as usual, I am your host, Justin. I'm going to go by the way that I'm looking at on my screen. To my left is my brother, Ryan.
Hi.
Ryan,
Richard, do you want to say anything? Okay, no, he's okay.
It looks like Rich got raptured. Is that what's going on there? Okay.
He's
that Rich.
Form.
Yeah. Then below me is my brother Travis, who is home for the holidays. So he's joining us from his room instead of behind his masturbatory curtain.
Yeah, now it's just a masturbatory door.
Yeah. John, and then we have John. What are you drinking, John?
Brother.
John, what are you drinking?
I need my vitamin, whatever this is. So I have a screwdriver.
Nice. And then we have Steve.
Morning.
We have Val.
Hi, everybody.
And then Val, do you want to introduce everyone to our guest for this episode?
I would love to. So I am lucky enough to introduce, he's an incredible person and an incredible writer, and he's one of my favorite people, and he tolerates me. This is my friend, Michael.
I was just expecting the name, but a lot to live up to.
No pressure.
Okay, so this episode, we are talking about some natural apocalypses. So last episode was all man-made stuff, so it was man destroys himself. This is going to be nature destroys man. And that is basically earthquakes, super volcanoes. I'm going to chalk asteroids up into that. I don't know, wildfires take over the world, and whatever you can, convince me is a natural occurrence, a natural apocalypse. So does everyone understand what I'm talking about when I say natural?
No.
Yeah.
What about
Immediate confusion.
Yeah, that's just Steve. So that's fine. Steve, we always assume that you know half of what's going on at one time. So
And just choose not to accept it.
yeah. So since I do not have any of Val's brother's cider yet, I'm drinking some Lillian hard cider, which is from Connecticut. So, but I'm still waiting on that cider, Val.
Hashtag high. Sorry.
Hashtag high noon sucks.
You know what? I'm gonna stop like talking about it on the podcast so we don't get some merch. I think that's only fair, right? We should have some. I have never tasted it. I'm
It's so good.
trying to.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Well, I don't know that.
I do.
How I can trust you as far as I can throw you, and that's not very far.
That's because I'm a fat kid now.
Okay, so I wanted to start off with, as far as like the movies and media, I think this is probably the most popular apocalypse scenario is natural apocalypse. Like it's one that Hollywood really likes to. I mean, I just watched 2012 today, just to like, not for the first time, but just to get myself back into like the spirit.
It's pronounced 2012, yeah. Justin. It's not 2012. Come on now.
Whatever you say, John. So I just rewatched it today just to get myself back into the spirit of natural apocalypses. And yeah, I know it's an apocalypse movie. That movie is very bleak. And I will tell you that Woody Harrelson is the best part of that movie, and he dies halfway through. So watching Woody Harrelson play the apocalypse crazy dude was the best part of that movie. So it was very sad when he died.
That sounds like spoilers to me.
Yeah, how dare.
A movie that came out, 10 years ago now?
Yeah. Yeah, it came out. I know it came out before 2012, so you're a little behind the curve there, Steve. Okay, so my question is...
Wait, at least it's not Bryan Cranston being the best part of Godzilla, even though he's in it for only the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Not wrong.
I mean, the new Godzilla was god-awful anyway, so...
Well, I mean, I appreciate
And
certain
off
parts
topic
of
we
it.
go.
No, this actually kind of fits, even though it's these
It's a
these
natural
are
phenomenon.
things that evolved, and there's that one theory that it was the Bikini Atoll nuke test that caused all the kaiju to grow. Again, I
Yeah.
know that Godzilla lore is different.
Well,
But
it
yeah, I
matters-
mean,
It
Japan
matters
loves
at
their
least
monster
where you're
films.
going with and everything like that. In a lot of ways.
Okay, so that brings me to my first topic. What is the best natural apocalypse movie, in your opinion? Whoever
Oh.
wants to go first.
I'll go first. My favorite is The Day After Tomorrow. I fucking love that movie. I remember that's one of those movies that I'll watch over and over and over. I just think it was really well done. When did that movie come out? I don't even know.
I was
The
like,
Day
it was
After
early
Tomorrow?
2000s. I think it was like 2002.
I think it's 3 or
That's
4.
what we have Google for.
2004. I don't know. I just really I loved the way it was. It didn't seem over the top to me. I mean, it is about a giant fucking cold snap, but
And the humans just magically survive it, but that's besides the point.
Didn't
Yeah.
the cold snap, didn't it only last like not that long? If I remember correctly, I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but
The timeline for it was kind of fucky, where it's just like the scientists break the ice sheet by accident,
yeah.
and then they start showing all these Day After Tomorrow post-apocalypse shits, like the cold storms and all that, and then like I think it's like 4 in movie days later, it's like over. It's like, look,
Yeah, that's
there's
what I'm saying.
nuclear
It's like-
weather coming over the horizon.
it's like over in days.
It
It
goes
doesn't
from like
ever-
we start the fire of apocalypse scenarios to just 45 minutes of Jake Gyllenhaal sitting in a library, which and
Burning
figuring out which
books, nonetheless.
chairs he can burn. Like,
Yeah.
That's all I need. I just Jake Gyllenhaal in a library.
See, I'll
Which-
take Maggie Gyllenhaal in the library with a lead pipe.
Which I will point out, as far as I understand, burning books in a fireplace in a library would not have stopped them from being frozen from what was going on outside.
Absolutely. Well, the end of the movie, it doesn't stop. The end of the movie is they get rescued, and then the president gives an address, and then it like the last shot is like it pans out on like the new landscape of the world, and it's like the ice sheet has gone over the whole continent. It's not like nothing's fixed. It's just like people survived, and now it's like the normal is ice everywhere.
Yeah, don't they?
Yeah.
I think they have to all move to Mexico, if I
Yeah.
remember right.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, because South Park makes fun of it. South Park makes fun of it. They draw the dick line where they're like, everyone above this line is dead and everyone below this line is okay. And it's like, and this, and they draw like the head. Yeah.
it's like 2 days before the day after yesterday. Is that what?
Yeah.
they-
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, I love The Day After Tomorrow, but I think South Park's version is my favorite.
I never saw that. How do they parody it?
It was called 2 days before the day after tomorrow. So basically what happens is Cartman and Stan are in a boat and they crash into a dam and it causes the water to flood a town. And they say that that's being caused by global warming. So everyone starts panicking and they start saying that global warming is coming. And they're starting to say that like global warming is like this. Basically, they treat it like a monster, like this monster is coming. And they all rush into the community center and they like huddle in the community center because Stan's dad Randy starts convincing them that the outside is like they'll die if they run outside, even though it's perfectly fine and it's like Colorado, so it's like beautiful outside. And Stan and Cartman crash into an oil refinery, I think, and they get stuck there and they call their dad and they can't say that they were the ones that crashed into the dam, so they can't tell them why it happened. So Randy thinks that they're in danger, like their life is in danger, so they do basically The Day After Tomorrow and they like bundle up and shit to go get them, but it's a summer in Colorado. So it's like hot out. I don't know. It's definitely one of my favorite, like one of my more favorite episodes of South Park. It's a very good episode. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because it's funny.
Yeah, it was very good.
But that movie ends with like a view from the ISS when like the astronauts looking down at the ice sheets, and that they moved. You're right. They moved the embassy to Mexico. The US Fuck you. I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
At
I mean,
least
I'm
it
not
was-
gonna blame you for that.
Boy, do I have a film for you.
If you say Donnie Darko, I'm leaving.
I mean, I wasn't going to, but now I want to. Wasn't one of them passed out from heat exhaustion, Justin?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and they say that the first what is the first symptom of hypothermia is feeling hot, so they think that they're getting hypothermia.
Such a good fucking episode.
Yeah, it's very smartly done. It's yeah, I don't mind it at all. Here's the penis picture.
We see it. We know what's going on here. The kids don't, but we do.
Richard, it's you.
Oh, Richard. What is
Nice.
What's Richard's favorite apocalypse movie?
The one where he doesn't show his face.
And don't be shy, Richard.
No. What is
Deep
it?
Impact.
Revelations? No.
Yeah.
What's the Christian one?
You're thinking of
Left
You mean
behind.
Noah?
Left
Flood?
Behind.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
Left
Richard
Behind.
likes Left Behind. You wouldn't think it, but he's a pretty fundamental Christian. He's I don't know.
I'm just gonna go up and just see what your mom is thinking right now. Hey, what's up, chat? Sorry. You.
Well, so Michael, I was told that you have a good knowledge of like the media as far as this. So why don't you give us your answer? What's your favorite natural apocalypse movie?
So I have a weird one, and I may be it's a solar flare. So I'm hoping that counts. But
Yeah.
it is the bizarre 2006 or 7, no, maybe 2009. It's Knowing, starring Nicolas Cage.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, we've been talking about this fucking film so many times.
I think it's a secret masterpiece.
Oh, we all have garbage decisions sometimes.
No, I mean, it's
You know how fucking validated I feel right now? They
No,
fucking
okay.
tore
So
me
the only
apart.
problem I have with that movie is not the movie itself, because I think
Right.
as far as like a thriller, it's okay. It's that ending, dude. That ending, just the way they ended it. I can't.
That's the
No,
Hey, hey,
can't.
hey, Justin, this movie's been out for like 12 years. I'm never gonna watch it. Go ahead and just spoil it, folks, for the folks at home. Folks at home, if you haven't
Oh.
seen this film, it's a Nicolas Cage film, so he probably ends up fine, except for that one time where he doesn't.
Wait, isn't it Nicolas Cage and him?
He gets obliterated. He gets
Oh,
turned
okay.
to
Even more
dust.
so I want to hear about this.
Yeah, so basically the whole thing is that there was this time capsule buried in Lexington, Massachusetts, my hometown. And it basically there's this sheet in it with a bunch of numbers that this little girl who just wouldn't talk to anybody wrote down. Anyway, Nicolas Cage is a mathematician at MIT. His family, his kid is at the school that digs up the time capsule. It turns out that all the numbers have predicted major disasters in the past and major disasters in the future. The last three numbers are 3-3, and they're trying to figure out, what the date is for that, or what the casualty number the 3-3 refers to. Turns out the 3-3 is actually 2 E's backwards, so it refers to everyone else, meaning that in the next 2 weeks, the whole world is going to be destroyed by a solar flare. Nicolas Cage then is trying to figure out if he can save his kid, but it turns out that no, he can't. But there are aliens, and they have been followed by these men in black people the entire time. They think they're government agents, but no, it turns out they're aliens who have interstellar space arcs. So his kid and another kid are rescued and transported at the end to some sort of interstellar Garden of Eden, along with a bunch of other people who were able to hear these magical voices. And then Nicolas Cage, reconciles with his dad and his mom before the end, and they're obliterated in the solar flare. But I think the ending's pretty great because one, it's fucking insane. It has Nicolas Cage. The whole film is Nicolas Cage doing math and drinking scotch like water. and somehow never being
So
dropped.
Nicolas Cage doing Nicolas Cage things. Got
Yep.
it.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with the movie. It's just I got to that ending and the movie ended, and I literally sat at the staring at the screen, going, "Really? What?
Nobody
No,
wins.
what?"
I mean, I kind of wish more movies had just secret alien twists at the end.
Oh my
Okay.
god. What was the movie that had secret aliens with Nicole Kidman in it? She thought she was being like her kid was like being wasn't Nicole Kidman? I don't know.
That's that's the one that she's on the plane where she forgets that she has a kid.
She had a kid, but it was because
Red
the
Eye?
Wait, are we
Alien-
talking about Jodie Foster and?
Oh yes, no, I'm
Flight
confusing two movies.
was it Jodie Foster? I don't know. All I remember is that she thought she had a kid, and then it was like she was convinced that her kid was kidnapped, and then she realized that like he was, and then it was like aliens that were trying to steal him.
I mean, Flight
so
Plan.
it's not Jodie Foster.
Flight Plan is that, but terrorists,
It's not
aliens.
Yeah.
And her kid actually was kidnapped and found in the
Yeah.
cargo hold, but that's besides the point.
You know what movie has secret aliens?
Men in Black?
Sultan.
I mean,
The Forgotten. It was
Yeah,
called.
I was literally about
Oh.
to say that, Val. You beat me to it by like 2 seconds.
It
Yeah.
wasn't Nicole Kidman. It was the other hot redhead.
It's Jodie Foster.
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore.
Okay.
Jodie Foster is Flight Plan. Jodie Foster, it
Yeah.
turns out at the end, that the guy who keeps on telling her that her kid didn't exist is the bad guy, and there's a bomb on the plane, and for some reason the kid had to be taken because the bomb was on the plane. I don't. That movie really, that was one of those endings where you got to it and it's a twist ending, and you're like, okay, but you still didn't explain a lot of shit to me. So.
Also, don't you
Meanwhile, Ben
remember,
Stiller's in the background like bomb, 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 bomb.
I just feel like there was a period in like I think like Skeleton Key did this as well, which was like a horror voodoo film starring Kate.
Kate Blanchett.
No,
Kate
Hudson?
Moss.
Kate. Maybe it's
Kate
Kate. Yeah, I
Hudson?
think Kate Hudson. Yeah, and it was just like they're just like, oh, we have a big twist at the end. The twist is just ruined because like, oh, Peter Sarsgaard is in this film being smug. Of course, Peter Sarsgaard and his smug face have something to hide.
It's like anytime I see a film with oh god, why am I blanking on his name now? But he dies in everything.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
Thank you, Sean Bean. It's like Sean Bean's gonna be in this film. I bet he fucking dies, and then he dies, and I go, called it.
Yeah.
Except for National Treasure. It's the only time he lives.
It's what is it? 23. The ending of 23 I saw coming the entire fucking movie, and I
fucking
got
love
to the
that.
ending of 23 and I was like, okay, well that wasn't a twist ending, and I know you meant it to be a twist ending, but I literally saw that coming the entire fucking movie. So
Hey, is 23 an apocalypse film?
I liked that movie.
no, it
That-
is not, John, but we were talking.
Let's bring this back to apocalypse.
Okay, you bring us back to Apocalypse. What's your favorite natural apocalypse movie?
Boom, The Core.
The
So
Core.
good.
Oh, fuck
Oh yeah.
I've
I
never
didn't
seen.
even think,
I-
how did
about
I
that.
not even think about
I
that
want to
one?
be honest. My
Goddamn-
number one film was going to be Day After Tomorrow, and then Val said it, and I can't. Hang on. And then Val said it. Nope, Val said it. And I can't copy her. And then I was like, well, what's a cool asteroid film? And the only two that matter to me are Deep Impact and Armageddon. And Armageddon, not for any particular reason, but Steve Buscemi's in it. But then I had to think about too, like what's an actually good apocalypse film, even though it's not that great and they survive in the end. And The Core. It's absolutely hilarious how they figure it out. The cast itself is really good, and
Yeah, the cast is really.
as plausible as it is, it makes sense in a way.
It also includes the incredible line where DJ Qualls says, "Oh, you need me to hack the world?"
Can you do it?
Of
Yeah, I'm
course.
gonna need about 3 weeks supply of Hot Pockets and some like, oh god, and then for the PG-13 rating, it has the actual best F-bomb in it, which is the dude is
Yes.
still recording himself as the nuke is about to go off and just goes, "What the fuck am I doing?" And I that quote is my life. 25 hours a day, 8 days a week.
It's also just great because it's like it's like smarmy bald Stanley Tucci who said it's
Yeah.
like Stanley
Oh my
Tucci at his
God.
smarmiest. Like
I remember because Stanley Tucci was also in the Ocean's films, I believe. He was the bad guy that they rob in the first one, and then and then they bring him on in the subsequent films. And that's how I got introduced to him, was in those films. And I watched this one, I'm like, all right, he's pretty good. And then he comes in Kingsman. I'm like, I don't want you to die, Stanley Tucci. Stay with me. Stanley Tucci. Mwah. Greatest of humans.
I mean, I love the core. I don't know how I didn't remember that the core was a apocalypse film, but it also has the greatest, like, how are we going to solve it? The Earth is stopping spinning. How are we going to stop it?
Nuke it.
Nuke it. Put a nuke in it. Yeah, sure, that'll work. Fuck it. Let's go.
But the better part is when they finally get there and they realize that their plane isn't gonna fucking work. Instead of just go back up and come back down with just 5 nukes, there's like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna fuck up this ship. We're gonna drop the ship in specific points and blibbity blobbity blue, and they jump started like pebbles in a pond.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the film is so good. The planning is so dumb, and Bernie Mac is hilarious in it. But oh God, it's a good bad film.
it's also just like, I mean, I know you were saying, for a PG-13 movie, it makes such good use of like its F-bomb. It also just like for a PG-13 film has some genuinely like gruesome violence in it. Like Bruce Greenwood dies because like a crystal stalactite like falls right through his skull. Like Delroy Lindo is like boiled alive and somehow manages to like walk 10 feet on, even though they say like the cabin he's moving through is like half the temperature of the sun, which like, oh no, you just evaporate at that point. But
his boots are melting to the ship as he's doing it, and then he just gets fucking destroyed by magma. Like,
yeah, it's like it is a film that is really kind of delighting in everything it could possibly do with this like journey to the center of the earth, like taken seriously or taken somewhat seriously.
The other great thing about the film too is do you remember how it starts?
Doesn't it start with like some sort of like magnetic surge, like destroying an entire city,
so
like London or something?
It's not quite that. Is they are in they're in, I think it's an Italian city, and it's one of those that's famous for all the fucking pigeons there. Mm-hmm. And the boy just finds a dead pigeon, and then all the birds start to swarm around it, and they just start to go like all of David Copperfield's The Birds on people.
Yes.
So like it totally subverts your if you didn't watch a trailer and you're going into this film and with unknowing, you think it's going to be something, and then it becomes something totally different.
What does that have to do? What does birds going apeshit have to do with?
They explain it with the magnetic field and the bullshit in their brains and whatever. I don't listen. Sci-fi films are sci-fi films. Their math doesn't ever add up. But in this case, apparently it's according to my console off screen, it's true with birds. The magnetic.
The magnetic
Here, yell it out loud.
It's true with birds. It's how they do their great migrations. The same with whales.
Carl, that kills people.
In this case, it did.
I would say that the core is probably so low on the list of things that could actually happen, though.
Oh, 100%.
The dumbest fucking thing. It's just like, no, the Earth isn't gonna stop spinning. You don't have to restart the fucking core. That's not how math works.
That's why I said it's such an implausible film. Science has figured out that it's never going to happen. You're not going to, just like The Day After Tomorrow is so implausible just because of fucking crack in the ice sheet. But the fact that it is such an it's an implausible premise for a decent movie is why it's up there for me as my number one apocalypse film. Even though they survive at the end.
Well, so I'm gonna go next just because I have two guilty favorites. One of them is probably gonna be more accepted than the other. So my first one is Snowpiercer. I love Snowpiercer.
Again, I'm gonna use this joke from the chat earlier. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the sequel.
Yes. Snowpiercer is great. I totally forgot about it as a natural apocalypse movie, but it's literally just like the people that are on this train are the ones that are alive. So I don't know. It's the Earth got too cold. I think like humans caused it, but it was like a natural thing that happened. So we'll just chalk it up under that.
I gotta be this guy though, as the resident guy who loves trains. Those rails would not have survived however long that they existed for.
Yeah, but like you said, sci-fi doesn't do math very well. So
No, they don't. Neither does fucking Chris Evans.
and then my guilty favorite, and it is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, but I love watching The Happening.
Me fucking too, dude.
I don't know why. I like that movie. I know that the acting is bad and the premise is bad, and I just love that movie.
What? No.
Oh, I fucking love that movie. I think The Happening is such an underrated movie. I think it's so original. I've never seen a movie that's like it. And fucking, even though Wahlberg is just an abortion of an actor.
It was okay. No, he's a good actor depending on what he's in, but it was Marky Mark's one of his weakest performances. But you know, one of my other guilty favorite movies, and I think Ryan loves this movie too, is Shooter. And his acting is a little wooden in that too, but it's still an amazing movie. So I don't fucking care.
But
So
then you get
that's
Marky Mark and the other guys, where you have such great quotes as "aim for the bushes" when they're on top of a fucking building in the middle of a city.
Mark Wahlberg is one of those actors that can't take bad writing and make it work. He needs to have everything line up, and then he's a good actor as long as he's given the tools to be a good actor. Like he can pull it off as long as everything else around him is good. There's some actors that can take bad writing and take bad directing and still be good actors in bad movies. He's just not that way. So
It'll be really interesting because I know it's been stalled for a while, but I think they're still like Bong Joon-ho is still invested in doing a Snowpiercer TV show. And I mean, I love Snowpiercer because I too would love to run a train on Chris Evans. But you know, it is. I think it's a great film. You know, we know from Parasite that Bong Joon-ho is so fucking interested in class stratification, and I think Snowpiercer does it in a way that's, you know, yeah, you could say like a little blatant, but also like builds to some incredible nuance at the end, with this idea of like co-option of like fear and revolution and revolutionary rhetoric as well. But yeah, no, and then also The Happening. Just I love that Mark Wahlberg, he said in an interview like the only reason he took the role was because he was like, I think this is the only time anyone's gonna be dumb enough to ask me to play a high school science teacher, and I'm always playing heavies, gangsters, cops, and now I just get to be like, hey, the plants are being weird today, bro. What are these, some Vietnamese plants?
That was frighteningly good.
it was.
I do not know where that came from. You know what I was thinking of? That was one of my like honorable mentions, and I don't know if it counts as natural, but now that we're talking about The Happening, it does. Children of Men is also one of my favorite. It's not really an apocalypse movie, but
it's listed on the list that I have for apocalypse movies. It is up there.
Children of Men's on there.
Yes.
Movie is so well done.
If I'm looking at the same list that you're looking at, also on it is Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, well, that's a post-apocalypse movie, so it is technically about. It's not about the happening of the apocalypse, which I guess technically Snowpiercer isn't it? It's about the after effects of an apocalypse. But yeah, Mad Max Fury Road happens because Mad Max is all of them were post-apocalypse. So I don't remember in the original Mad Max what was the cause of the apocalypse. I honestly don't. It's been a very long time since I've seen that movie.
Global warming.
Was it global warming?
That's why the planet's all dust.
Oh yeah, and like in the first one, it's not like, it's kind of like a little before the apocalypse because he's like still an employed cop, and there's like it's like building up like global warming and the gasoline shortage, and it's only like, and then there's the whole, it's just a revenge movie, with him against Toe Cutter. But yeah, and then in the Road Warrior, they kind of hand wave it a little bit with global warming and the gasoline shortage, but I think that also allows them to just, especially when it comes to like Thunderdome, which is bonkers, and
Well,
Fury
it's
Road, to
funny you
kind of
say
just do
that.
whatever. Like,
Oh, wait, I just found another guilty favorite of mine on this list.
well, before you do that, let me get this out because it has to do with Road Warrior. Everybody remembers Road Warrior for the final 15 or so minutes.
right? Yeah,
More people remember actual quotes from Thunderdome.
yeah.
So
Well, I
it's
mean,
like, which one is really better? I mean, realistically, neither of them, but they're just like guilty.
Fury Road is the best of all the Mad Maxes.
Well,
and
yeah,
I
no
will
shit, because
fight
it came
any
out
day for that.
35 years afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know with Thunderdome, like, and it's actually kind of interesting because Road Warrior and Thunderdome have like the same thing, kind of a similar issue flipped, where people, the people who love Thunderdome remember the like first half, and really don't like the second half with the kind of Peter Pan kid shit that like people think weighs it down. Where then, I think a lot of people like, who really trumpet Road Warrior, and I love both of them for their own reasons. They remember the kind of the final siege and all this shit with Lord Humongous. But
Big
there's all this
Fire.
yeah, with all the like ridiculous business where he and Bruce, what's his name, the gyrocopter pilot, are just kind of dicking around for like and doing like a weird little goofy adventure before they actually reach Gastown.
So
So
the other one that
Waterworld-
I wanted to throw into the mix, which I don't know if this is actually, let's go around. Val, did you go?
Val said day after tomorrow.
Val said day after tomorrow. Travis, you go. Snacky intern.
Snacky barely leaves.
Listen,
He's mostly.
I honestly don't remember most apocalyptic movies that I've watched, probably. So the only one that really is coming up in my brain is, for some reason, Wall-E.
There you go.
Technically, that is post-apocalyptic. Technically, that is a natural apocalypse also, because
No, it's man-made.
It's man-made. It would have fit into last episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it was man causing garbage. Because the planet actually didn't get destroyed. That we just put so much garbage into the earth that we couldn't get anything to grow anymore.
Yeah.
Remember, Wally's whole job was to collect garbage.
Cuban.
I mean, yeah.
That's man. Yeah, that is man-made. We didn't.
Wally.
Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. That is that I just cry the whole way through.
Yeah, but then you watch any of those videos or most of those videos that have the what is the Disney and animation fan theories, like twisted fan theories. One of the twisted fan theories is the fact that he's killed all the other robots. Like he's taken all the parts and shit. Like he's the one going around and killing all the robots.
Wasn't one of the timeline theories for Disney that
yeah.
while all the
with
people
Toy Story.
Yeah, and then
Toy
while
Story
all the
is
people are
sentience,
off.
and then you get Cars.
Yeah, Cars
Yeah,
happens
Cars
while
are
everyone is off.
afterwards, but yeah.
Cars happens while everyone is off planet, basically.
Yeah.
That's when Cars is happening.
Do you think after a while, after millennia of Wally and Eva being together, the relationship, it's getting a little cold, so they bring the garbage crusher back into it, just for spice things up, it's
Yeah.
So John, you were incorrect. It does not start with Toy Story.
Really?
Yes, it starts with The Good Dinosaur, and then it goes into Brave.
No. I only count films I've seen, and I don't want to cry tonight.
Well, you're wrong
I
because
still haven't watched Toy Story 4, and I haven't watched 3 in a very long time.
the official theory goes Good Dinosaur, Brave, The Incredibles, and then Toy Story and Toy Story 2. And then Finding Nemo is happening at the same time as Toy Story 2.
Yeah, that all checks.
So that's how that goes, just as a nice little aside.
And then even better, Aladdin takes place well in the future.
Oh yeah. No, there's that theory is one of the ones that I've seen that makes the most sense to me out of
Because why
every
does
single
Robin
fan
Williams
theory.
know what a car is, or whatever the guy is.
Jack Nicholson. He
Yeah,
does
Jack
Jack
Nicholson.
Nicholson impressions, and he says he's been in the lamp for 10,000 years.
Oh shit, you guys are blowing my mind.
Hey, just a quick aside. So every time I go to Disney, I do the pin trading with my girlfriend or whoever I'm at Disney with. That's not a shot. Don't look at me like that.
Shots fired.
And there's sometimes where like the cast members will put the pin instead of over here so you can see it, they put it behind so you can't, but you can just see that there's like a little pin holder. And so you can ask them trivia to find out what the pin is. So my favorite one to ask is how many years has the genie been in its lamp? And they never get the right answer. And I feel really good about it. And then I remember that sometimes they're paid to make me feel good.
There you go, Val.
John, do you like Disney?
I love Disney.
Is that why you like going to Disney? Because they're paid to make you feel good?
You better believe it.
The world's
Right?
biggest
Did Richard
whore.
fall down?
Oh, he's been
Yeah.
down for 20 minutes.
Yeah, he fell down 20 minutes ago. You didn't see me and Val fucking dying laughing?
Ryan and I were just
No.
like cackling. So I was doing like a silent seal laugh in the background.
Well, so that kind of brings us to a perfect little ad revenue time. Hey, folks at home on Spotify 3 weeks from now or whenever, if you want to know what we're laughing about or who Richard is, you really should be watching these on YouTube about 3 weeks in the past. We live stream every Tuesday right around 8 p.m. because I'm never on time. It's always my fault. Sometimes
Yep.
Justin's.
I love your honesty.
Yeah,
And you've
except for
gotta-
I have a 10-month-old, so
Again, that was your own choice. And you can see Val's funny makeups or the stupid faces I make or the delicious beers I'm drinking. Look at this one. Look how pretty the blue and yellow is.
It looks like a soda.
It does. It looks like a
Pepsi,
crap.
Which is why I can drink it in the airport.
Yeah.
Do you bring your own beers to the airport, John?
I mean, pre-security, I can do anything I want. I'm still an American citizen at that point.
So Val, you have to read what I just put in the chat. I put the all of the Disney dark theories, or at least my favorite Disney dark theories.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
We're really getting off topic at this point.
No,
Well,
we're
I
not.
was
We're just
I was about to
saying dark
Ryan,
and dark.
you go and then Steve is gonna go.
I would say if post-apocalyptic movies count, probably Waterworld or Tank Girl.
Oh, fuck me, Waterworld.
I was about
Yeah.
to say Waterworld. That was the one
Yeah.
that I said, and I'm glad that I didn't say it. And I said I'll let everyone else go first
Yeah.
because Waterworld was the other one.
Waterworld, or as I like to call it, Wet Mad Max.
Well, if you want to talk about Waterworld, I'll talk about Tank Girl. I kind of love Tank Girl. Tank Girl is like the single weirdest. Like they basically took this extremely odd comic book that was fucking awesome as a comic book, and they went, we could do this in real life, right? And they got like the perfect actress to be Tank Girl.
You know what she was in before that, right?
Was it Point Break? Was Point Break
yes.
before Tank
Well,
Girl?
she was also in the Army Now with Pauly Shore. That's how
Yes.
she got found to do that film.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really like, and as a tank guy, so I've established I'm the train guy and the armored warfare guy. The tank that she has is a light tank from World War II. It's so tiny, but then you see the inside parts. And I was like, I hate this. I hate this so much, but I love it. She puts a fucking guided missile on it.
Yes.
Yes, she did.
It's so obscene and weird, but at the same time, such an entertaining fucking movie. It's
Kangaroo
like-
Man.
There was the
It's a
other chick in
movie-
that too, whose name I'm blanking on.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the bad guy? The guy who
No,
plays
the
bad
Jet
guy?
Girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I have a question before we go to Steve. San Francisco, I never saw that one. Was that a full apocalypse or was that just the fall of California?
Which one?
The one with the rock in it.
Oh, you mean San Andreas?
San Andreas. Was that a full apocalypse or was that just a natural disaster movie?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
It's kind of just it's just the Rock is running around the San Andreas fault. I think it's directed by the same guy who did Skyscraper, which is just like Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of The Rock doing,
It's
Rock
The
things.
Rock doing Rock things. Like have you ever noticed any film that The Rock is in? He does his WWE special.
Yep,
Yes.
he
He rock
loves
bottoms
that.
everybody he can.
I mean, he has gone from so one of my, and this is not a post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic film, so I won't dwell on it too much, but one of my guilty pleasures is Pain and Gain. And I actually have this running theory that I think The Rock should have been nominated for best supporting actor for it, because I think he's incredible in it. But there were like movies like that and like Doom, he plays like flawed characters. He won't do that anymore. In fact, when he forced them to rewrite Rampage, because at the end of Rampage, the gorilla was supposed to die. And he essentially said, no, like, people don't want to leave a Rock movie being sad. They don't want to leave a Dwayne Johnson movie being sad. He's going to fake his death, and then we're going to flip each other the middle finger. So, yeah, I
Man,
mean, like,
only Bethesda knew that before they came out with Doom Eternal, right, Ryan?
yeah. But yes, the last thing I will say before I feel like I keep speaking over people, and I'm very sorry. All that I
No,
want to say
that's-
about
No, it's good.
He also
No,
does that.
that's what they all do.
Hey,
That's what they do.
Eyebrow thing. He's like, every fucking way he has to look.
I will say that I enjoyed Skyscraper. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
I don't know. It was a good film. Like I didn't hate it. It was
film though, Justin wasn't. though.
it was an enjoyable film.
But
I was okay with the Rock action, but most of the film was just. I felt like the writers were sitting in a room doing coke and going, "Can the Rock do that? Yeah, he can do that. Write it in there. The Rock can do that shit."
I mean,
he's the fucking Rock.
someone did they measured the big jump in the poster or whatever, which was like the big advertising thing across compared to other ridiculous jumps, including, and I guess I don't know if this is man-made or natural, because the men wake up the dragons in Reign of Fire, where Matthew McConaughey
yes.
does
No,
his
Rain of
thing.
Fire is totally natural.
Well,
I am yes, that is a natural apocalypse movie. Yes.
Well, then you have to add Dragon Wars, which was another terrible film of the same era.
Fuck you. Rain of Fire was not terrible. Rain
I
of Fire
didn't
was
say
one
that.
of our
I said
favorite
Dragon
movies.
Wars.
This is delightful.
Just Matthew McConaughey just leaping with that axe only to get eaten
God.
immediately.
You know what's fucked up is that was advertised as like the big thing, and it's over just like that.
Yeah, and if I
Chef's
remember
kiss,
from that
eat
movie,
shit.
his accent was abhorrent.
I said,
Whatever accent he was trying to do was so bad.
oh, that quote after they kill the one dragon is like, savor the nations with heroes. Pity the ones that need them. Like, I fucking love that. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I just pray for a Tank Girl 2 that's all focused on Ice-T is a literal kangaroo man.
Yes.
Oh my god, yeah. Iggy Pop is in the film as well, which is
It's
ridiculous.
an insane cast.
Yeah.
Malcolm McDowell, just like
Here, I have
Matthew McDowell
IMDb
is
up while
such a
we're
good
doing
bad guy in that fucking movie. It's so good. But it's one of those movies where I'm afraid to show people it, because it's like I was introduced to it at like 10 o'clock at night on Comedy Central or some shit. And like I feel like that was the perfect way to be introduced to it, when you're like sleepy enough to really get into a movie, but at the same time sleepy enough to like not give a shit to turn it off. And like once you watch that movie all the way through once, you're like, I fucking love that movie. It's so good.
Hey, I mean, she was enough of an iconic hero that they put her into fuck, why can't I think of the video game Broforce? They put her into Broforce. She was such an
Did they really?
iconic. Yeah, she's in Broforce. Tank Girl's in Broforce. You can her secondary is summoning a tank, and then you can use the tank.
I did not know this.
Yes.
Oh.
You played it enough with me. You should know that.
I should, but I don't pay attention.
Well, we've already established that. Well, Steve, you're the only one that has not gone, and I feel like you're gonna have a good one.
Wait, hang on. I have to make this known. Point Blank, 1991. A League of Their Own, 92. She was also in that. Free Willy,
1995.
she was in as well, so I forgot about that.
She was
Really?
a Free Willy.
Yeah, she's in Free Willy. And then In the Army Now in 1994, 95 comes Tank Girl. And Ryan, to your point about Comedy Central movies at 10 p.m., I got curious once because I've never actually seen Tank Girl all the way through, so I watched it on Hulu, and I'm never getting that 90 minutes back of my life because it becomes a hip hop video about 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I don't know anything about why it's a post-apocalypse. I'm not
water
it's
shortage.
a water shortage.
I'm just saying that in the film itself, because I haven't read any of these comics, I don't know what happened in that to make it a post-apocalyptic film.
Well,
If-
what is
if
it?
I
Don't they explain that water is like worth more than like
Yes.
people?
Money.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, have I got a series
That's-
for you?
That's also why they took people and made them into water.
Yeah, because
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Because
All right,
if
that
I
checks.
remember right, the companies basically found out that they could buy the rights to water, and they basically hoarded it all. If I remember right.
Oh,
A
so
good
what you're
thing
saying
that's
is
not
they are
happening.
They are a literal modern day Nestle corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
Exactly.
Nestle.
Yeah.
We don't get political
Nestle.
here on the podcast, but fuck Nestle.
Their chocolate isn't even good.
Yeah, their chocolate fucking their Nestle's chocolate sucks. Make
Okay,
their-
can I just
make the Butterfingers and the BBs and
no fucking
bars?
Nestle is trash.
can I just point out the coincidence here? Tank Girl is currently free on Prime for the next 24 hours.
Babe, we're gonna watch Tank Girl.
Watch
So-
it with
So if you're watching that, which we don't have many watching, but if you're watching this now and you want to watch Tank Girl, it's free on Prime for the next 24 hours. So go watch it. Steve, I want to hear why Teeth is a apocalypse movie.
Ugh.
I'm sorry, but you will always be responsible for introducing me to that movie. So whenever I talk about movie recommendations with you, it's always going to be Teeth is going to be in there somehow.
I mean, I don't know how that would actually be post-apocalypse.
It was a joke,
mean,
Steve. You don't have to take
the
it
Earth-
seriously.
I mean, the Earth did get overturned by monsters and
What about
everything else through
mutation?
mutation.
Yeah.
It all came through mutation, and then a big robot steps on the person at the very end of it. I don't know. That wasn't going to be my recommendation.
I
Oh,
I
are we
figured it
talking
would.
about different Teeth?
Teeth
Yeah.
has 3 movies.
I thought we were talking about the vagina dentata.
That's
Yeah,
what I thought.
Exactly.
I
That's
was
the one
queuing
I
up
was
on-
talking about.
I was
Oh,
queuing up on a cockalops pun. I mean,
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of Feast.
Wait, hang on. Time out. Folks at home, if anybody else is keeping track, that's at least 2 sex jokes Michael's made tonight, and I'm for it.
This is why I love him. He's lovely. He makes me look demure, which is hard to do.
And you make me look demure, which is very easy to do.
So the movie I was actually thinking of was Feast, not Teeth. My bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say Teeth is about the fucking
The vagina.
vagina dentata.
So you were talking about what?
Feast.
What's Feast?
Feast is
There
a
you go, John.
movie. Oh god, what's he doing? Oh, dicks are everywhere. Dicks are falling everywhere.
Richard, look away.
He's hiding.
Feast was a movie that was just god awful. The only things I really remember from it, a bunch of people were held up in a tavern. The world was coming to an end, or as it seems. These monsters fuck things in bread and kill. Lovely.
I have no
What's
idea
it?
what fucking movie you're talking about.
I think-
I don't know. I thought he was gonna go with a Quiet Place because that's like an
gotta once
apocalypse.
again just say it.
I think it's a
He tried to explain Borderlands, a game in which I'm familiar with, and I came out not knowing what the fuck Borderlands was. So
Wait, Michael. So do you know Borderlands?
so embarrassingly, I
you don't have
weirdly
to be
know more
embarrassed.
about-
Do you know what Fallout is? It's the better Borderlands.
I mean, I've played, a little bit of Borderlands and a little bit of Fallout. For whatever reason, I somehow know more about Feast because I know it was a result of that Project Greenlight show that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck did on HBO in like the early 2000s, and that was like the winning pitch that was then released. Yeah, but it's like it's basically just like monsters in a tavern, and then but for a second I thought I haven't seen it in a while, so the apocalypse film I was confusing it with was when everyone's stuck in the diner and Paul Bettany is the angel Michael or Gabriel.
Oh,
Wasn't it
yes.
literally called Angel?
It's just
No,
like
it's
it's like him
something else.
fighting Kevin Legion, I think maybe.
Yeah.
Legion. Yes,
That
that's it.
fucking
It's
movie.
Legion.
Oh.
That was a fucking
so
good
much
movie. I
ass.
like that one.
You know what the problem is I can't watch the FX show Legion because I just think it's the next series of that, even though it's about the X-Men.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that meme? There's like a clip that's going around of like the first old lady getting the COVID vaccine, and then it splices to the scene in Legion where the old lady is climbing the walls. It's the greatest meme of today.
Hey man, for all we know, after this vaccine comes out, we're just gonna get Will Smith out of existence.
So I want to share this just because I was looking for horror apocalypse movies and this just popped up. So I looked at the page to see what the hell it was. And this is an actual movie. It's called Corona Zombies for everyone listening and not being able to see this.
Where can I watch this? I will watch it right.
It's got a 2.5 on IMDb.
Oh, absolutely yes. Hell. Oh my god, I would need to see the trailer.
Fucking the description starts with the word ditzy. Ditzy damsels.
This looks like it's a really weird porno, but it's not.
Just scroll back down.
Ditzy damsels in distress, toilet paper
1 minutes long.
Oh god.
Or if it's a made-for-TV film, 2.5 hours because fuck your time.
Do you guys think this will play on the Sci-Fi Network?
I mean,
Probably.
Zombievers did.
I
so
think
of
the
course it
sci-fi
will.
music will the sci-fi. I think sci-fi will look at it and go, nope, that's garbage.
Oh, you're talking about the 6-time Sharknado creator, Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
They're gonna look at that and say absolutely.
Other great sci-fi channel original film, The Sharktopus.
Yo, fucking
Yes.
Sharktopus is good. I will die.
Yo,
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying they got high and decided that a shark tornado was a good idea, and then they started doing meth and cocaine and said, you know what? Let's put an octopus on a shark.
Oh, the
And
weirdest
neither
part.
of them are land animals, but a sharktopus can climb a fucking mountain.
The weirdest
Yeah.
part.
Fucking
The
nice.
entire Sharktopus, Sharknado franchise was Tara Reid in a cardigan set. That was the weirdest part of the whole fucking thing. Trying to see Tara Reid do whatever Tara Reid does. She looks like a
That
shriveled
stuff.
butt stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a list up right now, and we're gonna go. So wait, Steve, you gave your answer, right? What was your favorite?
Feast.
Was Feast? Feast was your favorite apocalypse?
Teeth, and then it was Feast.
And then it was spliced somehow.
So I have a list up of like some of the worst apocalypse movies, and one of them up here is The Colony. I don't know if any of you know that.
oh,
I've seen it advertised on Netflix, but I keep thinking back to the glorious Discovery Channel show called The Colony, where they had to survive the apocalypse.
Oh, I liked so.
Just so much better in every way.
Yeah, it's a new ice age. It's forced underground by the next ice age. It's about the survivors of the next ice age, and it's got 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
yeah, it's criminally boring. Like just
Wait a minute. Isn't the apocalypse caused by solar flare in Maze Runner? Isn't that right?
No.
That's a good question.
I'm pretty sure the apocalypse is caused by solar flare in Maze Runner, and then the zombie people are made by something else.
So that is considered an apocalypse movie.
Yeah.
Maze Runner. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
so
also
is Divergent.
considered a bad movie.
Well,
But,
yeah,
you know.
no, the movie sucked.
Come on, I like that
You
movie.
shut your whore mouth.
I like the first one.
Val, give us a definitive ranking of the 3 Maze Runner movies. Where did the death trials fall?
Didn't they not make the third? I thought they
Yeah,
only made two of them.
That was Divergent. Divergent was the franchise that got like totally derailed.
They had to stop making the third Maze Runner because the main character fucked up he got really, really hurt doing a stunt or like in a car accident. I don't remember. He got really, really hurt and they had to stop for a while.
I'm going to be one of those guys, though. Once you read the Maze Runner book and you tried to watch the movie, it
doesn't. It
Hey,
doesn't.
Justin,
doesn't work.
I don't have enough time to read a fucking book, even if it is a young A book.
You know what? You don't have to, you can just say that you can't read, John.
Val, I owe you an apology. I mixed up Maze Runner: The Scorch Trials with Maze Runner: The Death Cure. So I just wanna.
You are not a that.
And yes, it is a solar flare that causes the apocalypse in the Maze Runner.
Ah, there you go.
Yes.
Fuck you, Nick Cage.
What is
Because
it?
wait, it's a solar. It's like a solar flare. It's called the flare, and
Yes.
it causes a plague.
Yes. Okay. So
Fucking
that's where
Littlefinger being in that film and shit.
And these kids are immune to the flare.
yes.
Which basically it's kind of like solar flare and zombie movie because it causes like the zombie monster things. I don't know. Good
I
books.
thought there was like a company that made the monsters or something like that. I
No,
don't know.
the company made the maze. And
The
the maze was made to get you prepared for the next thing.
Yeah.
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 And the
maze was
monsters-
yeah.
Weren't monsters like hybrid, like mutated people? Weren't like
Experiments.
the creatures in the maze were like infected experiments with like biotech put in them, right?
Yeah, they
Something
were
like
they were
that.
fucked up like slug monsters that like crawled on the walls and shit. Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah, and it's and I don't want to give too much. Again, read the books. If you want to know about
Yeah.
Maze Runner, read the books.
The
And then
Runner
watch
was
the
Hear
movie
about
if you have to.
Divergent, don't.
Yes, don't read the books or watch the movies for Divergent because both are bad.
Yeah, they're bad. Ugh.
It's the same thing I'll say about like anyone that turns around and I don't think it happens very much nowadays, but anyone that turns around and says, oh, go watch Twilight or go read Twilight. It's like, I don't want to not read Twilight because I don't like the premise of Twilight. I don't read Twilight because the books are written very badly. They're very bad books.
Right,
What?
that's my point.
Twilight was based. What was Twilight supposed to be? It's, what? No.
50
Twinkle,
Shades
twinkle.
of Grey was
It was Twilight fan.
fan fiction of Twilight.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey was rejected Twilight fan fiction that was then turned into its own thing.
And according to Megan, Twilight was fan fiction for Harry Potter
Or something like that.
or something like that.
Oh, is that My Immortal or whatever? There
don't
was like
Fucking
something.
no, I don't listen to Evanescence.
No, there was like some like Harry Potter or like some fanfic My Immortal that people like connected to. I don't know, Twilight. I don't know. I guess all that I can say about YA literature is as bad as the Divergent books are.
gonna talk Hunger Games.
I wish that every YA franchise did what the Divergent books do, which is that the titles just need to rhyme, like Divergent, Resurgent. Like I just want
And then
Harry
we have
Potter
Four,
5 Potter
which is the
Solder.
fourth book in the series and doesn't make any fucking sense. It's about some other character that I don't give a shit about.
John, it's okay that you can't read.
Listen,
He's so low.
I went and saw all of these dystopian young adult adventures with my ex-girlfriend, and I fucking hated every single one. The only reason I went and saw the final Hunger Games film is solely for the fact that I wanted closure of seeing What's-Her-Face get bombed.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the
Em?
Hunger Game books are very good.
Yeah,
So again,
I'm not disputing that. I'm saying the films were god awful, and Jennifer Lawrence is a crime against humanity.
hey, at least we got to see her butthole.
In what? Oh yeah,
when did we see her butthole? Oh,
the
the
fucking yeah.
in the X-Men
fappening.
films.
The Fappening, starring
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
I don't think he was in it. No, he wasn't in it.
Just wishful thinking.
I,
I'm like
I-
my
you-
dick pics, bro.
You almost made John take a spit take there, Val.
Now everybody's gonna know that
can't-
I'm
I can't
circumcised,
take the
bro.
Top off my spirit.
Although I wouldn't put it past Mark Wahlberg that he's the one who leaked all the photos. Maybe is that how he's in?
I think I found my recommendation tonight.
I feel like he might not be able to do that.
He was the one behind the camera.
I-
on all
I
of the
gotta
pictures.
just say this: the one good thing that Jennifer Lawrence has done, aside for at least 2 of the X-Men films, is the Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And he says something about that's kind of off-putting, and she just goes, you should be off-putting because you're fat. You should not eat any more pudding. And he just like, that's really mean.
For anyone that has not seen it, go watch the Between Two Ferns movie, because Ryan and I went into that movie not sure what we were gonna watch, and we were like pissing our pants laughing. It was so fucking good.
Especially the outtakes at the end.
Yes.
The outtakes at the end are the best fucking part. Of,
Will Ferrell plays his boss as Will Ferrell. We'll just leave it at that. That's a good movie. Okay, so the next section, which I guess the second section that I want to go into for this is the most likely, because we're already at an hour, but the most likely way that you think that a natural apocalypse would happen. So do you think that an earthquake
It's going to stop, Justin? It's just going to happen next week. We've got to prepare for it now. Get me Stanley
on Friday?
Tucci.
So I want everyone's opinion on, do you think earthquakes are going to kill us? Do you think, so just take whatever natural apocalypse scenario and take it to whatever science you like we always say, we are experts. So whether it's actually factual, I really don't give a shit.
I'm going to hear about this in about 3 weeks' time. When Justin said experts, he did do air quotes with his fingers, just so you know. We are dumb as fuck.
I don't like how close you got to my ears with that voice. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, whoever's listening on Spotify is gonna be like, God damn it, what the fuck is that shit?
Ripping out their earbuds.
They're gonna be looking behind them in the seat behind them, like, what the is John stalking me?
Hey gang, I'm actually in the backseat of your car right now. You should really turn your blinker on when you gotta make a left turn. Come on now, don't be an asshole.
That's gonna scare the shit out of someone like a year from now.
all right. So
Worth it.
back on topic.
Hey Ryan,
I
are
think
we?
Okay, right. Which one do you think is most likely and why? We're gonna
I
treat this
think-
like a college essay.
I think
250
Yellowstone-
words or less.
I think Yellowstone is most
fucking
likely.
college essay.
Yellowstone is something we have absolutely no control over. We cannot prevent it. We can't really do anything except for basically scientists. If you see a scientist that works at Yellowstone Park running, fucking run. Just go. You're not gonna live. It won't matter. But just go. There is a super volcano underneath Yellowstone Park, that beautiful park that you go, oh, look at those nice geysers. Oh, aren't they pretty? Yeah, well, there's
That's
a super
jizzing. It's
volcano-
watery grossness into the air.
Yeah. There's a super volcano underneath Yellowstone, that when it finally goes off, if it goes off, it will wipe out 2/3 of humanity. And basically, like, scientists...
The entire
that-
US would die.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Beyond the whole US, I think, is the estimates too. Like, it would also strike the whole rest of the world into famine and
Well-
cover the world with basically ash for
Yes,
a
it
long
would,
time.
but the first, like, the basic
Yeah.
right away, the US would be gone.
Yeah. So I believe that's the most likely to happen. I feel like if there was like they had an exact timeline of it when it's gonna happen, they wouldn't tell us anyway. So fuck it. It might
Oh,
happen.
you mean
any
like
day.
the whole thing of 2012?
Yeah. So
Murder
yeah,
Hornets.
that's my answer.
Got to run towards it though. If Yellowstone Caldera blows, I don't want to experience nuclear winter. I just want to just get blown to smithereens in the first few
Well,
seconds.
you know,
Like
the good
Woody
thing about
Harrelson. That's literally
nuclear
that's how
winter-
Exactly.
Woody Harrelson dies.
Go out like a Woody Harrelson king. Just
Here's the thing, though, Michael, is if you're gonna have to deal with a nuclear winter, you might as well patrol the Mojave in the NCR.
that is true. No, I
There
mean,
won't be a Mojave.
Not with that attitude.
God damn.
Okay,
Oh,
so we
alright,
heard
who's
Ryan. What about John?
In terms
I know
of what
your
we just
favorite
talked about
apocalypse.
tonight,
Your favorite apocalypse is nuclear, but you know.
I mean, you are correct, but I also think that the most likely, because it's happened at least one other time in our existence, is a fucking asteroid.
Yeah.
The Gulf of Mexico exists because of it. So
Right.
Yeah.
and
I
our
mean,
moon.
we have our Earth's gravity pulls asteroids in all the time. It's just
Yeah.
they're never big enough to make any kind of impact. So we're constantly being Why
Are
can't
you-
I fucking talk?
Meanwhile,
Bombarded.
we've got the fucking
Bombarded.
Tunguska event that's just it's just pockmarked all of Russia. Like it doesn't have to be a big thing. It just has to be big enough.
Right.
You know,
That's what she said.
giggity.
Okay, so John's vote is for asteroid. Michael, what about you? What do you think is most likely way that humans are going to go extinct, at least naturally? That is.
so Yellowstone Caldera is like my first answer. I guess if I have to give a serious one, I'm the flooding of the coasts from the melting of the polar caps. But also I'm gonna just try to start a new theory right now. The trees are gonna get too many rings. I'm not elaborating past that point. The trees are gonna get too many rings.
That's a horror movie. The trees have rings. I think I've
Exactly.
heard-
I would watch it.
I'm pretty sure it's Japanese too, called the tree rings.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna be like a Junji Ito Uzumaki, like the trees get too thick, too many rings, and who knows? Anyone who was
That's why
scared
we
of the
keep
trees
burning
with
those
rings.
fuckers down.
Exactly.
chopping them up and using them for our houses to give out a warning to the
That's
tree.
a warning. I'm gonna build a log cabin. Eat a dick, Forest.
Uh-huh.
And cocksuckers. Just
Those damn trees, I'm gonna cut them down and wipe my ass with them. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Do you like my dookie, that tree? Take that hair tree.
that was my son. You put your
Yeah?
son in your ass.
Now I'm going to rub my bum.
Oh God, Val,
I hate-
please take us out of this.
I hate it here.
There you go, Val.
I agree. No, I don't. I agree with Michael. I think we're gonna reach a certain point.
Rings.
Yeah, the trees. I think we're. I think
That
the
is
most
now the official 3-episode podcast apocalypse scenario.
thick trees, thick with two C's.
Take
Thick,
that,
trees.
dick tree.
thick trees.
That's a new T-shirt. Death by thick trees.
So I think the most likely scenario is global warming to the point where the sea levels rise and everybody just gets fucked. And maybe also trees, but mostly I think the coastline. I think the coastlines are fucked. That's what I think.
It is a kind of an apocalypse scenario. I just don't know if it counts as like, is it man-made? It's man-made though. It's
What global warming?
natural and man-made.
Global warming would be happening at a slower scale, whether or not we
Yeah.
were fucking it up.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
we're gonna reach a tipping point where nature's just gonna take its course.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
I would say, but I mean, a lot of us are going to survive the coastlines necessarily. It's just what happens after that.
Yeah,
that's
just
gonna
climb the
kill us all.
mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Deep Impact. Was that Deep Impact where Lily Sobieski had to like bike ride with a baby up a hill?
Yeah.
There
Which
was
again,
an
doesn't make any
anime
fucking
about
sense.
there was an anime about all ice caps melting and the entire Earth was water, and they were living on boats.
Waterworld.
You
Waterworld.
mean Waterworld?
No, but it was an
Drink-
anime.
Hey, does anybody drink their own piss in Waterworld?
Oh.
I don't think they ever cover that.
No, they do. It's literally the first part. It's like the first scene is
They do.
what's his face pees into a still.
Yeah.
And out comes fresh water.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, go. I've watched this film too many times to really care to admit, because like Ryan said, it's my guilty pleasure film. It's
Yeah.
bad. It's bad Mad Max.
Yeah, Kevin Costner drinks his own piss.
And he's a fish man.
Listen, yo, we
Yes,
all have our
that
kinks
part I
now.
know.
We don't kink shame on this podcast, except me, because I think that's disgusting.
Oh, we don't kink shame. No kink shaming. Drink
no
your own.
sex episode.
Hey,
No sex episode, if you will.
listen, if
We
we don't
already
do
had Richard.
a fucking sex trio, I'm quitting the podcast. I'm telling you, there's gonna come a point where I'm gonna put my foot down.
Or in.
Hard on somebody's nuts, right?
Hi, Mom.
Val, you already had a dick tree. Yeah, I don't think we have to go that far for a dick trio.
That's true.
I can't. Speaking of trees, I can't wait to yeet this motherfucker out the front door.
Is it real? Do you have a real one?
It's a real tree, and I can't wait to yeet it out the front door.
Dude, just set it on fire so the other trees don't get
I
too
am
thick.
not setting it on fire in my house, Val. We're folks at home and Spotify later on. We're
I
actually
said-
talking about my Christmas tree that I'm waiting to dry out and just yeet this fucker out the front door.
We did
Ugh.
ours. We did ours yesterday at like midnight because we just couldn't deal with it being there anymore.
Fake tree.
We are not burning this tree down in the house.
We can take it outside. That's fine. No.
In-
You're out into the field.
In the
All
middle
right.
of the street.
I feel like we've lost
I'm
the
in.
Oh my God,
tangent.
guys, you're gonna get us arrested.
No, they can't. Don't catch us.
Listen, of
Oh
all
my
the God's gonna get arrested for, I don't think burning a tree is gonna be it.
My roommate and I have a bad idea that's totally not going to get us arrested because I'm not admitting to anything. Nope.
Very good. Good thing this isn't recorded.
Good thing this isn't recorded. Good thing this isn't on YouTube for everybody at home to see. Good
Yeah,
thing I don't live
definitely.
in Medford, Massachusetts.
So does everyone want to see what I was just doing?
Were you playing Among Us? Because I wouldn't be surprised.
No,
Muted on.
I was doing this.
You spelled
Death
thick
by
wrong.
dick trees.
No, thick tree. Thick has to have two C's.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
ass.
So everyone that can't see, I made a T-shirt on a T-shirt creator, and it's "Death by Thick Trees."
Can you go ahead and just make that Comic Sans?
Yeah.
Comic Sans.
Oh God.
Jokerman. Fucking Jokerman or nothing.
Get it trending, guys. Hashtag too many rings. Let the world know.
Too many thicks on this big tree. Too many thicks.
Put fucking Jokerman font or else.
Wide ass pine.
Oh, they don't fucking have it. I quit.
Well, this was just a really quick thing that I was doing.
All right.
So
Comics, Comic Sans.
It makes it all better.
Does it?
No, it does not.
well,
Justin,
okay, that's what I was doing. So
well,
Thank
our
you,
time-
Justin. I appreciate your candor.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that is
It
delightful.
actually gets worse. As the more I keep looking, the worse it gets.
Oh, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about a lot of things.
No, you should separate death by and then the tree and then thick trees underneath it.
We're gonna have
well,
to.
this
Hey, why are
It
we doing
was a
this on
quick
the
thing.
podcast?
it was a quick thing because I thought it was funny, John. Fuck you.
Hey, it is funny, but we've comedy rules of threes this to existence.
Okay. God damn it.
I will be right
Um,
back.
Cool. Travis, Snacky,
Yes.
Snacky Paralegal, please.
Yes.
Let us
What?
let us know what your favorite. What? How do you think humans are going to die?
Well, I'm gonna have
And
to.
you weren't here
agree.
last week, so I want to hear. I want to hear your natural, and I also want to hear your man-made because we asked this question basically last week.
Oh well. By this point, I think man-made is zombie apocalypse. Just
No.
because I think that would happen, and I would love for that to happen. Just because.
Okay.
Just because.
I mean, zombification's also natural too. There are animals that do it to other animals.
Well, yes.
That parasite that fucks up like beetles and ants and shit,
Yep.
or the fungus, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the fungus.
And then for natural, I'm going to have to play Miss America and say global warming. I agree with the other two.
Play Miss America. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I guess I understand what you're saying, like the popular opinion, kind of
Yeah.
the feel good, not feel good, but I don't know. Okay, Steve, how are we gonna die? How are we gonna die, Steve?
He's
I
gonna
feel
stay
like
on our face too long.
I feel like something's gonna mutate due to probably us contaminating something. And I feel like we are going to create our own demise by naturally making a creature that's going to find us as prey. And I hope we all die to that creature.
That would be interesting.
So in classic Steve fashion, our natural apocalypse situation is we're gonna create a predator. And
Yes.
we're all gonna die because they're gonna. So basically, kind of like a eight-legged freak situation.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
definitely
a hard
like
note
eight.
for me, dog.
Definitely like
Hygiene
eight-legged freaks.
situation.
Yeah, you know what, Steve? I'm gonna go with you. I think I want the eight-legged freaks apocalypse. I'm good with that.
I mean, just by evolution alone, something should be kicking us off our pedestal that we've created for ourselves.
Oh,
Well,
I
I
like.
mean, we kind of hit that last week when we talked about AI, although you were not here for this. So,
that is true, yeah.
I mean,
That's right. I forgot Steve was not here.
you know, if we look at AI, and Ryan, I'm going to fight you on this one because if we create the AI initially, then the AI gets smarter and smarter and smarter, and singularity is us out of existence, Skynet style. We create the apocalypse, which is something you fought me on last week.
iRobot style?
Wait.
Oh
no.
man.
The singularity is not describing an event where we all die. The singularity is just when AI becomes
Aware.
self-replicating, kind of.
Self-aware, but if you also remember, the singularity is basically what Skynet is,
Yeah.
which is
Although Skynet reached the singularity before that point.
What about iRobot?
It was just it made the decision at the when Terminator happened, that whole thing.
Well, so the two AI, to just not to go into this because we do recommendations really quick soon. But the two
Terminator
AI,
Dark Fate.
the two AI, the two popular AI branches as far as apocalypse go is AI decides humans are a threat to its own existence. And then the second one is AI is told to protect humans and decides that humans are a threat to themselves and then takes humans out. So those are the two popular AI branches. Is either the AI decides that humans need to be taken out so it can thrive, or the AI is just doing its job and doing it incorrectly or doing it in the most logical way possible.
And which one does our Pope believe in?
What?
Which one does
The
our
fuck
Pope
are you
believe in?
talking
He believes in the first one.
Okay, good.
Are you
What?
talking about Elon Musk?
No,
No.
our Pope
No.
believes
The
that
Pope.
the AI takeover
Pope
will
John
happen.
Paul the whatever the fuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
our Pope right now has come out speaking that he believes that AI will destroy the world, basically,
Interesting.
and has spoken about it, which was kind of really fun and interesting. I'll have to find the video for you guys, but it was an interesting thing of basically he was talking about that AI would basically come as a savior and then at the same time end up making us destroy ourselves, is what he was talking about.
Steve Val, I
I
told
fucking
you
love
should.
him. He's fucking awesome. He's
What?
so great. He's like, oh, AI is coming. Oh, zombies? Fuck it, why not? And he's like, gay people. Why the hell do you guys hate him? I like him. Fuck it. Like, he's a cool.
I had a
he's the
whole
coolest
point
fucking
to
pope.
make, and I don't remember where it was going now because we started talking about Pope, whatever the hell his name is.
That's
Cool.
probably
I like it.
Benedictine?
Yeah.
Is it Dom Benedictine? Yeah, it's probably that.
Maybe.
ex
Okay,
Benedict.
I think we've run our course on this, unless anybody has anything else to add.
I do,
Uh,
but I don't remember what it was.
I
Well,
just
that's
wanna-
probably
Meteors.
for the best.
just want to
Meteors or
urge
aliens?
Val.
Wait,
Aliens are gonna
Aliens
destroy
is
it.
next week, Steve. Aliens is next week.
Let's give them a
Ah.
little taste. Which aliens do I think are gonna end us? All of them.
If
Dude,
they're
that-
smart.
Listen, we've already established that if there is the Israeli fucking ex Space Force guy, he's already said that there's a galactic force, and they already think that we're window lickers. So they're not gonna fucking do anything. They're gonna watch us like
No. You say, hey, we're window lickers. Please come help us.
Ryan and I are gonna have the beginning of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy to talk about next week.
Oh fuck yes.
I mean,
Probably the shortest apocalypse scene in a movie that I can think of, at least. Like the planet gets destroyed in the first goddamn 10
10
minutes.
minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah.
I feel as though there is
but-
one apocalypse that doesn't really fall into anything except for man-made that we're not even considering, and I think now is the perfect time to talk about it.
no,
What?
that's what the recap is for, the interlude.
Well,
Mike.
Yeah.
Oh
but-
my god, Val has been here way less time than you. She already understands what the fucking interlude is more than you do.
But it's because the thing is like it's a man-made thing that you the man has to set it in motion, but it also things just run its course because of.
Does it have to
multiple
be a man?
Can it be
Do they
what?
have to-
It could be a trans folk, yeah, whatever.
Does it have to be
a
human?
A human created time travel,
Okay.
and
Bring
the
back
way-
a dinosaur? Can we bring
Well,
back a dinosaur?
it's kind of like.
And
the
I have my
Butterfly-
own raptor.
Is Jurassic Park an apocalyptic movie?
I mean, in a way, yes, because
Ooh.
they.
It was
they're
close to
working
being
blocks.
that way.
Wait,
And
wait.
minute.
Wait.
Wait a
I want
minute.
to talk about this. Is Jurassic Park an apocalyptic movie?
wait, okay,
Well,
so the
Fallen
new one.
Kingdom ends with the dinosaur just getting completely loose, right?
Yes, so
Yeah.
the next one is the theory is the next one's going to be an apocalypse movie. Because the whole purpose of the next one is basically taking the second one and ramping it up to 1,000. Because in the second one, it was just kind of like, okay, the T-Rex got loose, and that scene in the second one with the T-Rex going around Los Angeles or wherever the hell it was
It's
is like
the
one of my
best
favorites.
part. It's the only
Yeah.
thing people remember.
Yeah, that's like the best part of that movie. And basically, what
love
they've
that
said about
story.
the summaries we've gotten for the next one is basically like that multiplied by a lot. Is basically like dinosaurs are just roaming around all over the place now, and it's going to be set in the U.S. and there's just going to be dinosaurs everywhere. So,
Hell yeah.
yes,
I'm gonna take mushrooms and watch it in 3D.
I mean, to be extremely pretentious about it, I think you could make an argument that all of the Jurassic Park films are at least apocalypse film adjacent, considering that they're about the existential fear of extinction in other species, and how that just self-destruction through the trying to fight the natural end of life.
I think the kind of fun, it's implausible but realistic, is how Superman's origin story is. Like we've got a destroyed sun from somewhere, and Krypton's blowing up and whatever the fuck. And they tried to 2012 themselves into existence somewhere else, among the stars. And we basically just have Kal-El and like a single ship of Kryptonians that have to figure it out. Like, if that's not an apocalypse story to not live by, I don't know what is.
Also, don't forget a crystal video loop of a clearly checked out Marlon Brando.
okay,
Well, last one, I promise.
okay.
the biblical idea that the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs was a rocket ship containing Adam and Eve.
What?
Okay.
What
Was-
the fuck?
Never heard this? All right.
Was that a full thought?
What?
Was that a complete thought?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't. I've heard this before. I just don't know where he's going with this.
Hold on.
All right.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Religion's gonna kill us all. I agree.
End of the movie knowing is the beginning of how Earth started.
Isn't that the Battlestar Galactica thing?
Oh,
Like-
God.
Building off of what John just said, what if Earth wasn't originally belonged to humans?
Like,
That's my favorite
mean,
Mars theory.
is that like Prometheus?
What if Earth actually belonged to dinosaurs, but then we were the asteroid that hit, and then we took over?
What if we used to live on Mars, but we had to send Adam and Eve over and we fucked them up with a carpet bombing before we came here?
I don't understand how this has to do with our apocalypse. So you
I
know
was
what?
trying to
You know
get
what?
there
Wait,
and we got
John.
That's-
John.
that's it.
Are you going to use the Caitlyn soundbite?
On that note,
Ladies and gentlemen, it is recommendation time.
John, why don't you go first since I cut you off?
I was going to refill my drink real quick, so why don't I go second?
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Snacky, why don't you go first?
I recommend.
So
Something
prepared.
random on my desk.
So prepared.
I recommend.
Travis, you know how this works.
Yeah, I know. I just never
Travis,
prepared.
why
That
don't
was
you
your
recommend the
voice.
new heist?
I've been. Oh yeah. Okay. The new GTA heist and all the new GTA stuff that just came out.
Have
Are
your submarine
amazing.
yet?
You can drive the giant submarine. You can go to the new island. You can do the new heists. You get a giant plane that you can fly around in. That was fun. Ryan crashed it. It was fun. It's a fun time. It's really good. It's a great time to get back into GTA if you've been away from it. There's a lot of new cars, a lot of new sales and stuff that go on. Yeah, GTA, very good game. Highly
GTA
recommend.
5 online.
GTA 5 online, very good game.
Yeah, I feel like you have to clarify that.
Story mode so.
Okay. Ryan.
All right. I'm going to recommend my newest podcast addiction. It is called The Darknet. Darknet Diaries. It is a kind of a true crime podcast, but it's specifically talking about hacking and everything to do with the internet, as far as like things ranging from small time hacking stuff all the way up to NotPetya virus that took down all of Ukraine and could have taken down the whole world if it wasn't stopped, basically. It even shut down shipping for a long time in the US and all over the world. And it's a very excellent podcast. It's the reporting and the way that the stories are told is extremely addicting. I have listened to, I think I'm at like 20 hours worth of the podcast so far in the past 3 days or something like that. Excellent podcast. Darknet Diaries.
Very cool. John, are you ready?
I can be.
Well, go ahead.
Yay! I actually am not ready at all. I was just pretending to be. I guess this
All right,
beer-
I'll buy you a couple minutes.
Oh man, are you gonna say Borderlands? You're gonna say Borderlands.
Actually, it's gonna lead up to Borderlands.
Hit me with it.
So, I was
Please
actually
don't.
gonna recommend Pompeii. It
Ooh.
might not be like the destruction of the entire world.
Hey, you know what though,
It-
Steve? It was the
it
destruction
shows-
of their entire world.
Exactly. That's why that was going to be my recommendation. It's an amazing movie. Back in the Roman days, and everyone dies at the
Jon
end.
Snow
which
still knew
makes-
nothing.
Yeah, Jon Snow knows nothing. I actually started watching Game of Thrones again. I'm only gonna watch the first 5 or 6 seasons, and then I'm just gonna stop for a good ending.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at some point, I'm sure.
Most likely. But Pompeii, amazing movie. Everyone dies. Great fighting scenes. I don't know. I can't enjoy it more than I already do. And if that doesn't work, drink some dragon's milk.
That's
Yo,
a
do you
very
have the
good
coconut
beer.
one though?
No, there's a coconut one?
Yeah. So way back when I worked at that shit ass game shop that I'm never gonna talk about again.
What game shop?
You know the one I'm talking about.
I know.
The one I'm never gonna actually name by choice because he doesn't deserve the publicity for being a drunk asshole who doesn't pay his employees.
Understood.
One of my D&D players brought me the dragon's milk with the coconut dragon's milk. There was only like 3 cases in all of Connecticut, and my store down in Ansonia, down the street from Justin, actually got one, and I bought it. It was like $30 for a 4-pack, and it was the best
4-pack.
It was so good.
I forgot how much I love dragon's milk.
Yep.
And 2 a night, it's very expensive.
It's not bad. It's folks at home. It's a very fairly priced.
Oh yeah.
Delicious dark beer for what it is. Since I am ready at this point, I'm gonna just go ahead and recommend the entirety of Warlord games. I was playing some Star Wars Armada, which is not Warlord games, at a shop that I enjoyed going to, and I found Polish winged hussars, so I immediately thought of Sabaton. And so I made that my status on Instagram. But they've got, samurai game, pike and shot game, line tactics game, World War II game, Navy games, like whatever you think you want to play, they've probably got it. And they're very fairly priced, and they're actually former Games Workshop, who is another big group game folks. So definitely check them out. I technically work for them in air quotes, but I don't get paid from them because the pandemic is a thing. So yeah, that's it. Hey, Michael, how about you? I'm going to tag it up to you way up there, buddy.
Yeah, no. So I got 2 things. One is the great John Carpenter film, Prince of Darkness from 1987. A really
if you're gonna go
interesting.
John Carpenter, you got to go Ghosts of Mars because that one has a train in it.
I love all of his stuff. But in terms of his Apocalypse trilogy, Mouth of Madness, The Thing, and I feel like Prince of Darkness doesn't get enough love. It's a mashup between science fiction and occult horror. Imagining is what if the devil was like an antimatter force and something that like scientifically and physically exists within the universe outside of outside of how religion tries to understand it. Incredible performance by Donald Pleasance in one of his later roles before he unfortunately passed. And then the other thing I'm going to plug or recommend is a book that I actually just finished. It's called The Dawning of Apocalypse. And it's the rise of slavery and white supremacy in the long 16th century. And so if you want
Michael, have you seen my latest mask that Steven bought me for Christmas?
I have not.
Oh.
It is being brought in for me. I'm going to turn off my camera for a moment.
Let him finish his fucking recommendation.
And please finish, and I will be back in just a hair when you are finished, good sir.
All right, I'm gonna do mine while he fucking dons his gay apparel. So I meant to have this a full candle, and I have been burning it nonstop. I got this for Christmas. My family loves these candles. I constantly have a candle burning. I'm one of those people who just like stockpiles them. And this brand is called, well, it's almost at the bottom now, but it's called Farm and Sea. And it's super, super, I mean, if you know anything about candles, some of them are shitty because they don't smell like anything, and some of them like burn dirty. But this is a super like clean burning candle. The smell is amazing. This smell, my favorite one is called Cozy Harbor. They're local. They're hand poured up in Amesbury. So it's a local company. And they're not super expensive. I mean, it's an artisanal candle company, but like you get what you pay for. So yeah, so it's called Farm and Sea, and they're sold. You can buy them online. I know they sell them at a store in Salem, Mass, called Oak and Moss. But I'm
It's so good.
Oh, what? Yeah, Oak and Moss.
So good.
So yeah, so Farm and Sea candles. That's my recommendation. And if you get them, Cozy Harbor. Cozy Harbor is the best smell.
So Michael, you've seen Django Unchained, right?
Of course.
Because let's just say I can't see fucking shit. I'm a big old dickhead. I'm a rotisserie dickhead.
I love the fact that this mask is getting used more than just once.
Oh, God, it's been used every episode so
I've
far.
gotten more use out of it for the podcast than anything else. So Steve, you did good. I actually think that I won the 3-episode podcast gift exchange because I ain't seen shit from the rest of y'all.
I mean, oh yeah, Steve, have you cut yourself?
Steve, go get your sword and cut down that.
Cut down the tree?
Yo,
That's how I cut it down.
not for nothing.
I used the sword to cut it down.
Steve, that's a real tree, right?
Yeah.
All right, definitely don't hack the shit out of it during the episode next week because that would be fucking hilarious.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, I have to make sure all the ornaments are off, but if that's the case, I will do it.
I like it.
We know you will, Steve. We know.
I will also bring out other instruments of choppery.
Ooh. Tell those.
This got kinky real quick, and we all know that Stevenson's in knife play. So
Yes, I am.
Michael, what was the hashtag? Too many rings?
Hashtag too many rings.
Too
Three,
many
what's up?
cock rings.
Too many,
I
never enough.
mean,
Okay, can we need to get out of this. Justin, are we good to go?
Justin, what was your recommendation?
My recommendation is going to be Skyrim because I've never really sat down to play it before. I've only watched people play it, and I've gotten it to play myself, and I've only played about, I don't know, maybe about 10 hours of, or not probably less than 10, maybe 8 hours of it. And I've run into so many funny situations and so many awesome situations. Like I explained to Ryan, I did the white run thing to kill the dragon. And then I got Lydia as my ward. And then I was in a giant fight with her and I accidentally hit her on the head with a mace and killed her. And then that wasn't even the funniest part. I thought that was the funniest part. I went to the next town and a courier came up to me and said, "I have this letter for you." And I read what the letter was, and I was getting 300 gold from her estate because she died. So I accidentally killed her in a fight and I got 300 gold for it. So yeah, so my recommendation is Skyrim. It's old and it's on a lot of things, but if you've never played it,
Fallout, right, Justin?
please go play
Is
it.
the game you like?
No, it is not the game I
Skyrim?
like. I've
Play
played Fallout
Skyrim?
and I played Skyrim, and Skyrim is not medieval Fallout. It's not.
what would
Sorry,
Borderlands
John.
count as?
Oh,
Trash. And
Fallout
on
is
that
Skyrim
note, we're
trash.
ending.
go
That's
mine.
not fair. I want to kill some bully monks for some hair.
I'm all right. I'm really mad at myself because last week we made the joke about how we have like an AI and everything, like a Wi-Fi connected fridge, and everybody has an Alexa or a Google Home. And I didn't make the joke about Todd Howard putting Skyrim on the fridge, and I'm really mad about it. So I'm gonna make that joke now. We'll maybe edit that in and post at some point. We won't because I'm not gonna do it.
Probably not.
So yeah, that was the thing that we didn't do. Well, I didn't do, and I'm mad about it.
And you should feel bad about yourself.
Noelle's
Mhm.
mad about it too.
I heard her.
All right,
Yes.
Jay, do we have
Are we
the-
done? Are we done? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Are
you for
we
listening.
done?
Thank you for listening or watching us. If you want to, sorry, something just popped up. If you want to listen to us again or catch up on any other episodes, you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube, and a handful of other podcast platforms. You can't find us on your favorite podcast platform. Please listen to us so I can work on getting us there. Our tag to find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and more is 3EP Podcast. That's 3EP Podcast. Our website is 3eppodcast.com. Please come check it out. We've got ringtones and meet the hosts and a bunch of other stuff. We live stream our episodes almost every Tuesday around 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. So follow us here, there, wherever, but come watch us on YouTube. If you're listening to this in audio medium, we really get kind of crazy when it comes to actually watching us. So come watch the actual
Justin's
live show.
background is the 6 invisible dicks.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what my background is. Come watch this episode to see how much of a liar John is. Please give us a like and most definitely comment so we know what you think about what we were doing. Let us know if you have any questions. If they are listening to us on SoundCloud or any other platform, what do they do, Steve?
Oh, it's me again. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Tell us what you think. Please, we need something. Oh, wait,
John?
no, we're not desperate anymore.
See, John? That's how you do that. Please also remember to check out
our
our network.
last week and told me I had to do it when I had to do it. I didn't know.
Please also
Trust me. I don't know. You've
been listening to do that. You've been listening to him do that for like a year, and you couldn't do it on the spot, which is sad.
Saying, do you know anything about me? No. You've known me for 30 years, Justin.
Sure. Please also remember to check out our network at giveusashot.network, where you can find our sister podcast as well as our t-shirts and other merch. Everyone say good night to the listeners, please.
Good night.
Good night, listeners.
Thank you, Mike. You were awesome.
Thank you for having me.